I'm Kristen McKaig. I am a holistic nutritionist, personal chef, and co-creator at Eat by Design Coaching. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how to do a food prep day. Food prep is when you take a block of hours and you create a bunch of meals for the week ahead or for the month ahead. If you were to ask me what does it take to create a really healthy, sustainable lifestyle, I would tell you that you should create systems and consistently follow them. Because when you do that, that actually creates freedom in your life to do the other things that are really important to you. Now, food prep is not the only system that I would recommend, but it is one that we get asked a lot of questions about, and it is an extremely valuable system to implement in your life. So let's go ahead and learn all about this food prep day. All right, I'm going to quickly show you how I make up all of my meals for the week in one cooking session. I always start with a meal plan, and today we're going to be making a whole chicken with roasted vegetables, pulled pork roast with homemade barbecue sauce, maple salmon, chicken fajitas, and chili. So on the day that I'm doing my food prep, I get everything out that I need. I get all my containers, lots of cutting boards. Those plastic ones that you see there are awesome because you can switch them in and out when you go from meat to vegetables. I've got my measuring spoons and cups, favorite chopping knife, and lots of bowls. Then I go and I get all the ingredients grouped according to recipes. That just helps me to know that I've got everything I need. It also just makes the process move along a lot faster. So now today, I just want you to focus on the process that I'm teaching you. You can go into the notes wherever you're watching this video and you can download the recipes and the grocery lists for the meal plan that we're doing. So don't worry about the measurements, and honestly, I don't measure anything anyway. So please just focus on learning the process. So here we go. Now, I'm going to start with the food that's going to take the longest to cook, which in this case is the whole chicken with roasted vegetables. Now, when I meal plan, I always plan to cook once and eat twice. That means that I make enough food for dinner for my whole family, and then there's enough food for everybody to have the same meal for lunch the next day. Now, in our house, we're feeding 4 people, so there's 2 chickens and lots of vegetables. Now, I'm going to set the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to bake this chicken for about an hour and 20 minutes. In the last 10 minutes of cooking, I'm going to take the top off of the chickens so that they can brown in the oven. If I take the chickens out once they're cooked and the vegetables are not finished, then the chickens can stay out and the veggies can go in. Now, this process took me only 8 minutes. And if you're curious of how to store the chickens, because they are pretty big, it's like this. You take them apart, put them in a container. Now, next we're going to be doing the pulled pork roast. This one cooks for 18 hours in the slow cooker, so it will be ready tomorrow night, but we're actually going to eat it the following day. So I'm going to put the roast in fat side up, add my spices. I'm going to add some awesome homemade gelatinous beef broth. Then I'm going to put the top on that baby. I'm going to get it plugged in, set it on low for 18 hours, and it's going to cook till tomorrow. That took me about 8 minutes. Now I'm making the barbecue sauce that's going to go on the pulled pork roast, and this is going to be added in the last hour of cooking. So when that hour comes, I'm going to dump out the broth. I'm going to add this barbecue sauce back in, use 2 forks, pull the pulled pork and mix it all up, and then I'll leave it and cook it for another hour. So for now, I'm storing this in a mason jar. It's going into the fridge till I need it tomorrow. Third, we're going to be making the maple salmon. So I'm going to line the container with parchment paper. This is nice because when I transfer the salmon over to a baking dish, I'm just going to be able to lift the edges of the parchment paper and all the marinade will come with me so the salmon and the marinade can cook together. So I'm making that marinade right now. It is going to be sitting on the salmon as it freezes and as it thaws, which means you're going to get a lot of flavor in that salmon. So this is really awesome. That took me 3.5 minutes, closing it up, throwing it into the freezer, and off it goes. Now we're making chicken fajitas. So I'm going to start with making the seasoning. I do this because then I don't have to have artificial flavors and MSG and the things that come in the spice packets that you buy. So I'll just make that spice mixture myself. How pretty. Now, this dish is going to go into the slow cooker. I'm going to wrap it in lettuce or kale, actually, because I've got a garden full of kale. And I'm going to top it with Greek yogurt, salsa, homemade guacamole. And now, okay, I want to say to you this, that your food prep day can be modified to suit your needs. How many mouths are you feeding? Do you need snacks instead of meals? Do you want breakfast foods? Do you want salad dressings? Do you want to do all the cooking today? Do you want to just do some prep today? Do you want to just make 2 meals today? What do you need? So you need to look at your needs when you design your food prep, and that might change from week to week. So I've added the sauces. Now I'm adding the salsa. I'm going to close that bag up and I'm going to shake it up because I want to get that salsa down around the chicken so that it can marinate as it sits in the freezer and as it's defrosting. And there we go. All finished, and that took me 12 minutes. Lastly, we're making the chili. So here's the ground beef, which I'm going to brown the day that I put it in the slow cooker. So I've made myself a note to remind myself to add the ground beef. And here I go chopping up the vegetables. Now, let's go over everything we've done because this is our last meal. The whole chicken is cooking in the oven for Monday's dinner. The pulled pork is cooking in the slow cooker for Tuesday's dinner, and the barbecue sauce is in the fridge. The maple salmon is going to be grilled on Wednesday. You're going to add a salad or a side veg with that. Chicken fajitas are going to go in the slow cooker on Thursday, as will the chili on Friday. But for now, those last 3 dishes are just going to go into the freezer. So one final tip, wash your dishes between the meals. Make a meal, wash some dishes, then start the next meal. That way you don't have a huge mess at the end. Now, making this chili only took me 11 minutes. So now can you see how creating a habit of a food prep day can actually create more time in your life? Whether you make fully cooked meals or you just prep a few snacks, anything helps. I know for me, it has given me so much more time to just say yes to my kids. Yes, I will go walk the dog with you. Yes, I will go for a bike ride. Yes, I will help you with homework. And I am so curious to know how it's going to impact your life. Now, as we said before, just remember that food prep is only one of the systems that I want to see you implement in your life. If you're trying to create a lifestyle that you love, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get more energy, there are systems. They relate to sleep, they relate to food, they relate to exercise. So if you're wondering what systems are you missing, sign up for our strategy session. We will look exactly at what you're doing right now in your life and what you need to be doing. You can go to eatbydesigncoaching.com to learn more. Well, I hope that this video has been very useful for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below the video. Go and get your first food prep day done. Good luck.